We've just had the first meeting of the Council of Nations and Regions. I've had every First Minister here, the Deputy First Minister in Northern Ireland, and all the mayors from across England. We've had a really constructive discussion.
Starmer has just created a disastrous television interview. He completely lost control, presenting the image of a leader fumbling for answers while merely dodging questions and repeating dry statistics. All of this resulted in a memorable moment, not for his skill, but because it could very well mark the moment of his downfall. Let's explore these dramatic moments together. But first, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
About economic growth, about jobs, about investment, and even today, we've had a further announcement of £24 billion investment in the United Kingdom. I set out when we won that election to change the country for the better, to stabilise the economy. And these investments that are coming in day by day, they're a drumbeat into our investment summit on Monday, which is bringing together
a gathering place where we are witnessing his downfall unfold right before our eyes. Starmer appeared at the event, facing a barrage of tough and blunt questions from the media. Instead of directly responding in an honest and straightforward manner, he chose to evade, skillfully gliding past each question with great cunning. Although the interviewer attempted to press on essential issues, particularly the role of the envoy, a figure who should have been present at a major summit but was mysteriously absent, Starmer continued to dodge the inquiries. Not stopping there, he was also questioned about his actual control over governmental matters. However, rather than facing the issues and explaining, he persisted in avoiding them, relying on mechanical responses that had been prepared in advance. He fixated on repeating the phrase economic investment and the staggering figure of £24 billion, as if believing that by doing so, the public would be blinded to the fact that he was not addressing the core issues directly.
Some of the leading, CEOs across the world. So for everybody listening and watching this who's concerned to know, is there going to be investment in my region? Are there going to be jobs where I live?
Okay.
The answer is today, we're going a long way down the road of collaborating to that end.
What stands out most is that Starmer appeared entirely unprepared for any serious line of questioning. His evasions were one thing, but it was even more striking to see just how unsettled he was, even when faced with the most basic questions. All signs of confidence seemed absent, lacking any semblance of authority. What emerged instead was the image of a man struggling to keep himself afloat. For someone aspiring to lead the nation, this performance inspired nothing but unease. He didn't just lack convincing answers, he also fell short of even the minimum composure needed to instill trust in his leadership capabilities. The sight of Starmer fumbling, lacking self-assurance, only underscored how unprepared he was to confront the challenges before him. It wasn't merely a lack of expertise or competence. He showed no signs of being able to command the situation, leaving any potential confidence in him feeling all the more tenuous.
I asked you, would you like to take this opportunity to say sorry to voters who voted for you, like Chrissy, pensioners who are about to lose hundreds this winter because of your choices?
What I'd say to Chrissy is this. I absolutely promised that we would stabilise the economy to make sure we never had the...
Imagine watching Keir Starmer's latest interview and counting each time he dodges a direct question. It feels as though he has reached a level of mastery in the art of evasion, turning every opportunity to provide a straightforward answer into an occasion to pivot to an entirely different topic. When confronted about the noticeable absence of his representatives at an important summit, instead of addressing the issue, Starmer immediately redirects the conversation, offering vague statements about constructive discussions or economic growth to distract viewers from the initial question. When the topic shifts to the approval of a severance payment, Starmer somehow completely avoids the question. He fails to provide a clear answer and instead rambles on about job creation and investment, as if merely mentioning these topics would make the difficult question disappear. Rather than confront the central issues, Starmer continuously opts for convoluted responses, turning each of his answers into a lesson in avoidance, a performance that seems meticulously calculated to make viewers forget what was actually asked.
We then discovered £22 billion missing.
Okay, so
Now,
you've mentioned the £22 billion a couple of times. You have also pointed out the
well,
full
it is the single reason we've had to take this.
Starmer seems desperately eager to appear in control, but instead of providing any substantial answers, he continuously resorts to numbers and statistics, as if these can cover up the lack of real content in his responses. Each time he is pressed to provide specific information, he mentions figures like £24 billion and robust economic growth, almost as if he believes the sheer scale of these numbers can obscure the fact that he is not addressing the issue at hand. However, his words come across as hollow, as if he is reciting them from a script rather than engaging in a genuine conversation. The more he attempts to bolster his position with statistics, the clearer it becomes that he is avoiding direct answers. His responses begin to feel repetitive and shallow, lacking the depth or authority one might expect from someone aspiring to lead the country.
We've got a long way down the road of collaborating to that end.
Prime Minister, will you approve Sue Gray's severance payment?
Look, we've had a really important meeting today of the Council of Regions and Nations, which is hugely important for the country. We've had a huge investment of £24
Can't
billion
answer whether or not you'll approve her
£24
severance
billion
payment.
of pounds, which will be replicated in jobs across the country. That is really important. And as we head towards that investment summit on Monday, a major event, and then onto the budget, we're resetting and change the way we run this country. And that's really, really important.
Starmer's interview is filled with grand promises about a massive influx of investment and the prospect of explosive job growth. However, upon closer inspection, everything seems fragile, as if these claims are merely surface level. Starmer repeatedly mentions colossal figures like £24 billion in investments, almost wanting viewers to believe that these large numbers can assuage any worries by themselves. The way he presents these statistics gives the impression that he believes simply flaunting them is enough to dazzle others, creating a sense that Starmer is intentionally diverting attention away from essential questions. He paints a picture of a fantastic economic outlook, where investments flood in, job opportunities abound, and the UK is on the brink of a glorious financial renaissance. But the question arises, are all these promises genuinely feasible? When faced with direct questions about practical issues, such as payment deficiencies or financial losses, Starmer becomes defensive, as if he is trying to conceal something. The enormous figures he uses serve as a flimsy veil, hiding the lack of depth and the absence of real solutions. Rather than providing practical answers to the significant issues facing the UK, Starmer spends time selling a dream, but that dream only exists if it is not scrutinised too closely. And this is where everything starts to fall apart. You can't just rely on billion-pound figures and expect the public to accept them without question. The more he talks about those numbers, the clearer it becomes that Starmer is hiding behind a facade of statistics, hoping that no one will inquire about the details, as if he believes that an impressive figure is enough to distract people from the absence of specific answers. Starmer's body language throughout the interview inadvertently revealed a completely different story, one that contrasted sharply with the message he was attempting to convey verbally. From the very first moments, his posture exuded defensiveness and insecurity. He tightly crossed his arms over his chest, drew in his shoulders, and avoided steady eye contact, unable to look directly at the interviewer. These are classic signs of someone feeling uncertain and seeking to shield themselves from the harsh scrutiny of their counterpart. The more Starmer tried to conceal his anxiety, the more apparent it became, manifesting in restless, uncontrolled movements. What do people think about the issues we have discussed in today's video? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on the latest political developments in the UK. Thank you all, and see you in the next videos.